Hello and welcome everybody to another Final Fantasy draft video. Today we're going to be trying our hand at some quick draft. It has actually been roughly about a week because I have been away with family for the holidays and I've just come back, so it's been a week since I've actually recorded any drafts, but I have been doing a good amount of just normal drafts and quick drafts, and I actually got as high as rank 7. So we're actually going to close out the season with a pretty decent ranking, and you know what? I've been actually enjoying some quick draft and I haven't shared that experience with you, so let's hop into one today and see how we do. Now, before we hop into this draft, I did want to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Match the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether you want to buy some booster boxes of Final Fantasy, Edge of Eternities, or Avatar: The Last Airbender, or you wanted some singles for your Standard, Modern, Pioneer, or Commander decks, TCGplayer.com is the place to go. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, head on over to HeavyPlay.com for premium Match the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and much, much more. Go to HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. All right. One thing, by the way, I have been having a lot of success with this, and it won't come as much of a surprise to all of you. I have basically just been forcing control in Quick Draft, and it's been giving me by far the most amount of success. So here, for example, Dragoon's Lance is, I believe, the strongest card in this pack, but I think for me, the pick would be between Thunder Magic, Sephiroth's Intervention, Quistis, or Ice Magic. And I'm honestly leaning towards one of the commons. I think Ice Magic is the worst of the three. I like Thunder Magic most if I do end up in blue-red, for example, but I think Intervention is highly splashable. So I'm going to start with the Intervention, but I wouldn't fault anybody for taking Thunder Magic here. Or the Dragoon's Lance. But let's go with the Intervention here. I really, really love the life gain you get from this card as well. And, you know, this can open the door for a lot of other fun decks that we can draft. All right, pack 1, pick 2. What do we have? There is Sorceress's Schemes. Again, the metagame for Quick Draft is very, very different than regular draft. There's a lot more people drafting Control. So I do think this card is excellent. You know, especially if I end up in some kind of like Grixis control shell. There's also Cloud of Darkness, which again, I think is generally a better card, but I have been having much more success drafting some kind of a Grixis control deck. So you know what? Let's take the Schemes here over Cloud of Darkness. Already, you know, we would have taken Dragoon's Lance and Cloud of Darkness, but I'm going to take the Schemes here and see kind of how this goes. All right, pack 1, pick 3. Wow, the removal spells continue to flow here. Overkill, Choco Comet, and Cornered by Black Mages, and a Sahagin in this pack. Obviously, it's between the two uncommons here, and I do think Choco Comet is better than Overkill. So let's go ahead and take that here. Again, because I think most of the time I want to be a blue-based deck, and I don't know, I feel like Sephiroth's Intervention is a better splash card, and blue-red splash black can be good. But of course, they're both very, very good. You can honestly go either direction. All right, pack 3, pick 4, or pick 1, pack 1, pick 4. They're Swallowed by Leviathan and Sorceress's Schemes. And there's also, I guess, Blazing Bomb. So looking like we're possibly going to lean into like a blue-red deck. Obviously, if that was the case, I would have liked to take Thunder Magic over Intervention, but that's okay. I do think Swallowed by Leviathan is excellent. One of the best counterspells, probably the best counterspell, maybe outside of Cryptic Command, of course. So I think I'm going to take that over Sorceress's Schemes number 2. This card is great, but we already have a pretty high curve, and I would like some cheaper interaction. And of course, you know, having too many of this can get a little bit clunky. That's not to say I wouldn't play a second copy, but I just feel like the first copy of Swallowed by Leviathan is much better. Ooh, an Emperor Palamecia, pack 1, pick 5, exactly kind of the direction that we were leaning anyways. So this is, of course, an excellent, excellent start here for us for a nice blue-red control deck with a possible splash for black here for Sephiroth's Intervention. Here, there's a Gladiolus Amicitia, but I'm probably more interested in splashing black anyways, and good 2-drops are sometimes hard to come by, so I do like the Scorpion Sentinel a fair amount in basically all decks, just because at some point you do get to the late game, and this does block pretty well. So, gonna take that here out of this pack. But I do think this is an excellent start. Here, another Sorceress's Schemes, but again, at this point, because I have some expensive cards, I think Sahagin is just perfect for this type of deck. I think Sorceress's Schemes is very good, but we already have one. Yeah, but this looks, oh my gosh. Dreams of Laguna. Who's passing to me? All right, I know they're bots, but we can still make fun of them. This is kind of nuts, though. And now we're just taking kind of a bunch of filler level cards that probably won't make the deck. So, hey, okay. Real talk, though. Second Sorceress's Schemes or first Blazing Bomb? I actually think it's the Blazing Bomb. Like, I just feel like I'm already looking like I have the late game covered, and I think Blazing Bomb is excellent and another good cheap interactive card that gets easily triggered by a lot of the stuff that we already have. And again, you can over-index on expensive cards. So let's go ahead and take that. And wow, this deck is looking rock solid here for now. Pack 2, pick 1. Ooh, Dark Confidant. But we're, of course, taking Cypher Almasi. 4 mana for a 3/4. When it attacks alone, it gets double strike. And then when Cypher actually deals combat damage, you can cast spells with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. So this card's obviously very, very strong. Very, very happy to pick this up for our deck for the 4 mana slot. All right, pack 2, pick 2. Crossroads Village, which would allow us to splash Sephiroth's Intervention. There's Choco Comet, which is a card I absolutely love in these blue-red decks because it triggers all your 4 mana value matters cards. We already have 3. So this is a card that I'm heavily considering. And there's also Captain Lannery's Storm. So if I'm a little more aggressive, this is another card to consider. But, I mean, blue-red just generally tends to not be as aggressive. But this does let me splash Sephiroth's Intervention potentially, too. All right. I will take Captain Lannery's Storm, but, Call the Mountain Chocobo, absolutely a reasonable take out of that pack. All right, pack 2, pick 3. Nothing here in blue-red. I mean, Warrior Sword is a totally fine card. So we can play that. It's a 4-mana spell that you can cast off of the Emperor of Palamecia, so totally fine card to take here. Pack 2, pick 4 gives us a much weaker pack. Nothing really in blue-red that we like. Perhaps the Thunder Magic made the bots just cut off red here. I will take Realm Sketching, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of this because so many players draft blue, and bounce is just a really good way to deal with a card like Realm Sketchings, so I'm not super high on this card in general. Here, it looks like we are in need of some interaction. I don't love Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum as a removal spell, but I think it's like a necessary evil, given that all we have is currently Choco Comet. So let's go ahead and take this for, having access to a little more removal. In pack 2, we are definitely getting cut here by the silly, silly bots. Very sad. Here, I guess I'm going to take Magic Damper, but I'm not really happy with any of these cards. This deck certainly doesn't need Monk's Fist or Instant Ramen, really, but maybe we can use this to protect one of our creatures if we are a little bit light on playables. Pack 2, pick 7. I don't know if I love Scorpion Sentinel number 3. I might be interested in taking the first Eden here. No, I'll just take Scorpion Sentinel. 3 is kind of probably my limit for how many of those I want. Ooh, Dreams of Laguna versus Call the Mountain Chocobo. I'm a sucker for the card draw effect. Let's take Dreams of Laguna. It just smooths out our draw. And honestly, Retrieve the Esper is worse than Call the Mountain Chocobo, but not by that much. Oh, and we got Call the Mountain Chocobo anyways. Okay. I mean, tabling all these cards is obviously great here, right? So, and we have more than enough playables here where we're now at the point where we can probably start looking to take some mana fixing if that's an option. Oh my goodness. That is a Kuja. And I absolutely want to play the Kuja. We could go back-to-back drafts here with Kuja. There's a Suplex and an Ice Magic as well. But Kuja seems too sweet not to take. There's also Ice Magic in this pack. So a lot of good options here. But again, we are pretty high on number of playable cards here. So let's take the Kuja and see where this goes. All right, Thunder Magic here over the Ilmag Pixie. We certainly need some more interaction. This is excellent early and also late. Triggers all the 4 mana value stuff matters cards. So let's go ahead and take that. Oh, Shantoto and Prompto Argentum. Wow. I mean, Shantoto is better. I like the fact that Prompto Argentum gives us black mana, but Shantoto is just a cut above in my opinion. So let's go ahead and take that. All right. Do need to take some lands here if we see it, but I will take Sahagin. Another premium 2 mana card here for our deck. And certainly if we need to cut something, it would be some number of Scorpion Sentinels or some of these. I mean, literally any other card. But Sahagin is premium here, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. I just need Grixis lands. All I want are Grixis lands. None of these are Grixis lands, but it's okay. Oh, Emperor of Palamecia or Sahagin. I mean, it's got to be Emperor. All right. Here is where we're at, okay? Because we're getting 0 mana fixing, we might have to just not play the black. I can believe a world where that is the case. Because right now we are not combat tutorial. I mean, we're certainly getting a ton of good playable cards here. It's just we're not getting the mana fixing. I don't know if the bots take the lands a lot higher, but here we are. Oh, Ice Magic on the wheel. Jeez, yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to give it a shot. And we still tabled the Ice Magic out of that pack, so nothing to be too upset about. But given where we're at, we already have more than enough good playable cards here without having to splash to black. So I think we're just going to be leaning into just a blue-red deck here and try to figure out what our last two cuts are going to be. But really, really rock-solid deck. Certainly could use a little more counter magic. I do like counter spells a lot in blue-red. Syncopate, for example, would be a card that I'd be really looking heavily at here. But, this deck still looks totally fine here. And let's put some of these, of the maybe cards, I think some number of... I think Call the Mountain Chocobo is the best of them. And then we can try to figure out what else to cut here. Again, to Stuck in Summoner Sanctum, I don't love, but we have what? Thunder Magic, Ice Magic, Stuck in Summoner Sanctum, and Choco Comet as our only interactive spells. So we absolutely need the Stuck in Summoner Sanctum. All right, Warrior Sword probably is just worse than these other 4-mana cards. I think I want all of them. They just work really well together. I mean, they just give us inevitability because, you just draw too many lands and you can just keep casting these cards. What's our creature count currently? 11? But including these 2, 3, 4 cards, that's 12, 13, 15. We actually have a lot of creatures. I think I can cut 1 Scorpion Sentinel. We have a lot of cheap things, and I'll keep the Realm Sketching because we have so many things that care about casting mana value 4. We have 2, 4, 5, 6 things that care about casting things with mana value 4 or greater. So I think I will play the Realm Sketching as my final card. And this is, by the way, why I didn't take the second Sorceress Schemes. Look at our curve, right? Like, there's just so many things here that I can play at the 4-mana spot. Where, I mean, I know these are more flexible, but Ice Magic you really want to cast at 4 mana to the point where you will get heavy on these anyway, so you don't put a high priority on taking them. But I think we can cut 1 of the Scorpion Sentinels, and you know what? Despite the fact that we quote-unquote wasted a pick on Sephiroth's Intervention and Kuja, I still feel like we have a rock-solid Is-It spells deck here. So let's see how this goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, I did want to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. Really do appreciate your support. Access to the Patreon will give you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a fantastic way to join a great community of folks looking to up their limited game. We have all kinds of channels that will be super helpful. What's the pick? Limited discussions, spoiler discussions, trophy picks, good beats, bad beats. And also on the Discord, I do private monthly streams, along with videos that I post specially for the Patreon only every month. So lots of benefits depending on the tier. Check it out. All right, let's continue climbing our ranking here. We are on the play, and we are certainly going to keep this hand here. We have 2 lands, Dreams of Laguna. This is why you take this highly. It just lets you keep kind of any sketchy-looking 2-mana hand. And we get to go turn 2, Dreams of Laguna. Man, I will say, I have been playing on my phone while I've been on vacation, and all of a sudden I'm looking at like huge cards again. All right, you know what? I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to keep this land here. I feel like if I draw 2 or 3 lands in a row, I'm really not going to mind. And what do I want to do now? Do I want to play Captain Lannery Storm just to generate a treasure and trade with the Black Mage's Rod? Or do I want to just keep up Swallowed by Leviathan here? Honestly, I don't mind that trade. So let's go. I think having that treasure is nice, and a red-black deck really cares about Black Mage's Rod. And it's not like I have removal to get this thing out of the way. Alright, I'll bet Salvagers, and I will play Retrieve the Esper here, just because it's... Normally I play Call the Mountain Chocobo, but given that they have a 2-3 in play, it makes a lot of sense here. Resentful Revelation. Alright, so our opponent got to take a turn off here, which is really, really great for us, because we can also kind of quote-unquote take a turn off. We don't necessarily have to play a thing this turn, because we can keep up Swallowed by Leviathan and play Dreams of Laguna. So let's go ahead and attack. Our opponent's obviously not going to block. I don't know what they're complaining about. Oh, I guess they Resentful Revelation maybe a land into their hand? I don't know. Alright, let's just counter this. Swallowed by Leviathan. Now we just want all action. I'm going to go with Sahagin here. Yeah, we're going to go Sahagin here to just really add a lot to the board. And I don't want to cast Call the Mountain Chocobo here, right? So we go Sahagin. Land. Retrieve the Esper. This allows us to establish a very, very nice board. And look, I mean, as we just continue to progress the game, I just have 2 more creatures to play, right? Which is very, very good. Undercity Tire Rat, sure. And Hectize to get Call the Mountain Chocobo. Fair enough. Alright, we're just going to start making some huge creatures. They get to drain me for 2 off the salvagers. That's okay. The thing is, I mean, they have to deal with a 10-10, a 5-5, and a 3-5. And even this 3-3 is a bigger creature than anything in play. And, I mean, of course, this is just the value of having access to these flashback spells, right? They just give you so much value in the late game. Wow, that was actually really good. They put a 5-6 into play here. So, next turn, I think... Okay. A lot of treasure, sure. So we should definitely cast Stuck in Summoner Sanctum on the Namazu Trader. And I drew Thunder Magic. Is that just lethal? So they go up to 12, 4, 9, 12. That is. Okay, so let's go Stuck in Summoner Sanctum here. Thunder Magic. Kill Salvagers. They go to 12, and then we hit them for 12. So, super straightforward game here. We just kind of cast a bunch of things, never ran out of things to cast, and then won the game. Let's speedrun this. Let's speedrun this with Is It. Can we do it? Possibly. Possibly. God, I love Sahagin. Sahagin is so good. Alright, on the play here. Ooh, this hand is amazing. Turn 2, Emperor of Palamecia into turn 3, Call the Mountain Chocobo. Yes, please. I am in for that. And if they happen to kill Emperor Palamecia, then we can still go turn 3, Swallowed by Leviathan, and then hopefully we can sculpt our hand so that we can draw land number 4, just to run out to Call the Mountain Chocobo, put a little pressure onto the battlefield. I will say, that as I am recording this, I did say that I'm not going to do any Avatar The Last Airbender drafts anymore. But there is, of course, the Arena Direct this weekend, and I'm a sucker for trying to win boxes. So you might see a video or 2 of me trying to play the Avatar Lottery and, try to spike a box or 2. We'll see. Suplex. This is a suplex. Which is actually annoying because Swallowed by Leviathan becomes less good, but if they had Thunder Magic, they would have led with Mountain. So this is almost definitely a suplex. I actually don't know why they're... Oh, it's a sleep magic. Huh. Interesting. I guess that works too. That actually works. Because when you transform this... Yeah, okay. Well, let's counter this. We need to put at least one thing in the graveyard. Alright, we'll retrieve the Esper into the grave. The question is, do I want to keep Emperor of Palamecia? Probably? Now the question is, do I want to play it here? Call the Mountain Chocobo seems a lot better here, I will say. Yeah, let's just play Call the Mountain Chocobo. I still don't think it's bad to keep it, but... It's just a way, way better use of my mana. But this does give you 1 mana back, so it's close. But I also feel like there's a decent chance they have a removal spell for this, in which case I would have much rather cast Call the Mountain Chocobo instead. Hopefully we draw like a 3-drop here or something. Oh no, that was perfect. Alright, so I'm going to attack. They're going to happily trade. What the hell? Okay. Alright, well, good board here for us. Let's see what happens. They could have, like... I'm hoping they don't have Nibelheim a Flame, because that non-block was, like, really suspect. Embercleave? I don't know what's going on here. Is Embercleave even in the set? Probably not, right? I really hope they don't have Nibelheim a Flame. Like, if they had Fire Magic, they block... I mean, yeah. There's just so many reasons why they would block. I still think they have a Suplex, by the way, but... Could be wrong. Oh, it's a Fire Magic? I mean, that was fine. That was totally fine. 2 cards in hand. I can either play Van or retrieve the Esper. They have 2 mana up. Alright. I mean, they need to have exactly Fire Magic here, so... Excuse me, what is it? Thunder Magic, so... They can't actually counter this. I mean, I could have played Retrieve the Esper as well to keep growing this, but... Being able to play this when they have a creature in play seems a little bit better. Ice Magic? Okay, well that's not a winning play. Like, that is just so not worth. You know what I mean? Alright, whatever. A land would actually be pretty good here, so I can just flashback something. Oh, Shantoto is also pretty good. They have 2 cards. Do I want... Again, am I trading this for this so that I can play Shantoto and then see what they do? I think that's fine. The thing is, you want to get all of these in play before you start playing your expensive spells. So we're going to leave it like this and then see what they do. Now, even if they kill the Shantoto, again, we just have plenty of things to play here, right? So this is Quistis. I guess they're going to Ice Magic? Oh, cast from graveyard as a 5/5. That is incredible. Oh my gosh, that was actually really awesome. Alright, well, this is our only line. No, that was a sweet line. Alright, they got 3 cards left. Let's see what happens. We still have Choco Comet. If we draw a land, we can kill the 5/5. Oh, we drew Stuck in Summoner Sanctum, which is also quite nice. I am at 12. I mean, they could easily have like a counterspell of some kind. I can also just play a 5/5. There's just so much I can do here. I think I'm going to flash this back. Because this gets me a mountain. And that pumps my Scorpion Sentinel. Sure. Okay, well, I drew the land anyways. So they have to block. So they're gonna block Shantoto here. This makes no sense, of course, because you want to block the 6-power creature. So now they're at 4 life and Choco Comet kills them. And they have 2 unknown cards. Emperor Palamecia doesn't get it done. Let's see what they do. Yeah, alright. Whew. I mean, this deck is playing out beautifully, and it's just a nice collection of commons and uncommons. You love to see it. I mean, there are good rares in this format too, but look at all these just awesome, awesome spells you can play. You know what I mean? Just look at it. Boom. Hadouken. All right, rank 50, 2-0. Let's keep it going. Also, we're kind of at a really lull. Big lull. Arena Cube is going to come, I think, in the first week of January, but we got like 2 weeks at least before the early access event happens for Lauren. So what kind of limited content do you want to see? Do you want to see more Cube when it comes out? Do you want to see Avatar content? Do you like the Final Fantasy stuff? Because right now a lot of stuff is flexible, and I want to obviously make content that I think the vast majority of you would like to consume. All right, on the play, Emperor Palamisia turn 2. Love to see it again. We have Retrieve the Esper, so that's a great turn 2 into turn 3. Being on the play obviously is fantastic, and a turn 1 Cactuar from the opponent. So hoping that our opponent doesn't play Chocobo Kick here so that they can eat my Emperor of Palamisia. I think the upside, though, is still too high for me not to play the Emperor of Palamisia. You know what I mean? Like, I'm well aware they can have Chocobo Kick, but I think I'm still supposed to play the Emperor of Palamisia. All right, Town Greeter here, and what do they have? I've never seen anybody cast Galuf's Final Act before. All right, we'll see how this goes. All right, look at this. Turn 3, I got 2 3/3s in play. Pretty strong. Also, Cactuar, generally not a card you want to put in your decks. But I guess right now it's not looking too bad. Another 4-mana spell would be interesting. Okay, Sorceress' Schemes is pretty nice. What do I want to do is the question. Probably just cast Ice Magic, honestly. Just don't do anything. Because the Grand Pulse Ochu is quite annoying. They have 5 cards in hand. So fire off an Ice Magic and then perhaps use Sorceress' Schemes to get it back. That would allow us to flip the Emperor Palamisia. Although it's kind of interesting because like I kind of want to use this for the mana too. Alright, I think we can take one. If they play something bigger, I'm certainly interested in bouncing that. Yeah, I mean, Dragoon's Lance is the perfect card to bounce because I just get to kill it while pumping the Emperor of Palamisia. Okay. So the question is, do I want to get back Ice Magic and attack for a lot of damage? I guess it's not like infinite damage. Or do I want to just like add more to my board here? Because I kind of want to just find a land. So I think I'm going to just play Dreams of Laguna here, keep the land. Play this. I can even flash back Dreams of Laguna. Maybe that's what I want to do. I can also just get back Ice Magic, which seems really strong too. I should just get back Ice Magic. Uh, 3, 4, 5 damage. Alright, we'll attack. I should have thought about this a little more. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously thrilled with this trade. And you know what's actually cool about this? This is a different name than Emperor Palamisia. So, I could have actually played both. Like, there's a really good chance they kill this, but I have a backup here too. Cactuar. They probably want to keep the Grand Pulse Ochu back. Oh, it is a Chocobo kick. Why did they pick up a land? They could have just done it with Grand Pulse Ochu. Okay, whatever. Alright, alright, alright. Well, let's play the Emperor. Let's pass. I want to keep up a 4-mana spell here if possible. Weapons Vendor. Okay. Wait. What happened? They tapped a mana, right? How did this work? Okay. I see. But this gets picked up. This gets bounced this turn, so I think I'm just gonna put the Grand Pulse Ochu on top. See what they do. Alright, we'll take 4. That gets picked up. And then we picked up Thunder Magic here. But I don't know that... Do I care about killing Weapons Vendor? I guess it's not bad. Alternatively, I can just flashback, retrieve the Esper, and hit for a bunch. I think I like that more. Balam T Rexar, okay, that's good. So this is a 6 mana to deal 8 damage. Or excuse me, 7 mana. 7 mana to deal 8 damage. So I can cast this. Thundaga. Attack. Alright. This is an attack for 11 coming in. And we still have access to a 4/4 Scorpion Sentinel and Sorceress's Scheme, so a lot more action here, if needed. We can Sorceress's Schemes back an interactive spell, right? Like a bounce spell if they just play something that I need to bounce right away, or Thunder Magic if it's small enough. I'm going to have access... if I draw a land, I guess... oh, Stroke... okay. Stroke of Midnight. I get a 1/1 here, that's still fine. Yeah, and this is an instance where, like, I'm not going to try to kill the Cactuar. I think I'm just going to attack for 5. Whoa. That was unexpected. All right, what do I want to get back with Sword? I think getting back Thunder Magic makes the most sense here. Or excuse me, Ice Magic. Because it just picks up anything, right? I guess I could have gotten back Retrieve the Esper, but I don't think I need to win on that axis. Alright. So we have 10 power in play, and the ability to bounce basically any creature that they play. So this is a good spot to be in. With the Ice Magic, we can also just like shuffle the creature back into their deck, which is really nice. But I think here, I'm going to put it on top. The way that I look at this is if they want to redraw it, we just drew Swallowed by Leviathan, so we can counter it on the way back down. They're still taking 10 damage here, going to 3. I mean, even if they play this, I guess they go to 6. If they play this, they go to 6. And then they can block my 5/5, so it technically works. But of course, we drew a counterspell. Alright! Easy peasy! Just playing a nice blue-red control shell, and we are now 39th. And look, and these are the differences, right? Like, when you draft, quick draft, I just feel like you need to take a slightly different approach than when you take a normal draft. Like, surely there are things with signals, but it does feel to me that there are certain things you can exploit. For example, I think the bots don't really pay attention to the mana value 4 matters or more, effects as highly, and cards like Syncopate you get quite late as well. And it really likes taking aggressive cards and lands. So towns are generally harder to pull off, and the aggro decks are harder to pull off too, because when they see like a 2-drop or a 3-drop, they try to make like a nice deck with a good curve. So oftentimes what that means is you're not going to be able to put together a great aggressive deck as often as you can a nice control deck. All right, opponents on the play here, unlucky. But our hand is excellent. 3 lands, Emperor Palamecia, Shantoto, and Choco Comet. Now, of course, our opponent leads with planes here. They're just going to completely debunk everything I said about good aggressive strategies. I'm going to still play Emperor Palamecia, even though they went turn to Adalbert Steiner. Like, obviously, I would like to be able to just like play Scorpion Sentinel to block it. But I do have the ability to play a Choco Comet here to like get some tempo back, and I might do that actually. I gotta think though, this is obviously a somewhat big turn. I guess I don't have to go for the Choco Comet just yet. I mean, I really want to play Shantoto, but I feel like I'm enough behind where maybe that's not technically the line that I should be looking to take. All right, let's play Call the Mountain Chocobo, actually. I don't want to miss land drops, and so this still creates a body that can block the Adalbert Steiner, and I will make sure that I can hit my land drop next turn, which also increases, like if they play something big that I really need to kill, I can still go with Choco Comet for 3, which can be pretty nice. Okay, Adalbert Steiner attacks still. Okay. Ooh, Cypher Almasi. That is an interesting one. Okay. Three cards in hand for the opponent. I think this is a really, really good turn here for me to keep up Swallowed by Leviathan. So I will do that. I'm going to play Scorpion Sentinel. Play a control game here. I have a 1/4 that can block Snowvilliers, and I just think next turn is the turn where they're going to play a big thing, right? And Swallowed by Leviathan, if I put 2 cards into my graveyard, that will allow me to counter something that costs 3 or... yeah. Coral? Of all the cards! Okay. I can counter this one at least. Let's just bin both of these. Okay, this attack is kind of silly. Alright. So 4, 5, 6 mana now. Yeah, I mean, the question right now, the thing is, like, as much as I want to play the Shantoto, I just keep feeling like I'm a little bit behind on board, so I need to do something about it. There is the Cypher, but right now there's nothing really great to cast off of it. Like, right now, our mana is just super duper awkward. This could be a good opportunity to just fire off, like, a Choco Comet or something. Maybe I just flashback Call the Mountain Chocobo. Yeah. So, okay, hear me out. This is bad for 1 turn, but this guarantees that next turn I will be able to play Shantoto plus a 4-mana play. And I like having that insurance, because the worst thing that can happen is me drawing another 4-mana spell next turn. This still pumps the Emperor. This still puts 2 creatures in play to double block the Snowvilliers. So I still feel like this is an okay thing to do. Well, we'll see where this goes. That's an Ash, okay. They could use Coral here aggressively. Yeah, alright. Fair enough. So now I take 5 and I go to 9. Alright, so certainly this is the time to play Shantoto. And I want to use a 4-mana spell here. I'm just not sure which one. Because Gallicat is kind of annoying, and that can be something that ultimately ends up killing me. So do I need to be mindful of that here and just play something like a Retrieve the Esper here, for example? Yeah, sure. Yeah, like, I need to be mindful of the fact that this Gallicat could randomly kill me. And, you know, I still have plenty of blockers here. Now, this thing is also going to just end up doing a ton of damage, especially if I play Cypher next turn. I know they have the Coral, so that's going to obviously keep things at bay, but just... like, I can turn this around very, very quickly if need be. Oh, that's a Cloudbound Moogle? Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, these are all extremely easy blocks. Thank you, opponent, for giving me very, very easy blocks. I do go down to 7, and I want to kill Gallicat. Let's block Ash here. Let's block Snowvilliers here. All right. Again, I'm at 7 life. That is a land. All right, we play a land. So now Scorpion Sentinel is also a 4/4. And so okay, I guess I can't play Cypher because I really want to play Choco Comet and just slow things down significantly. So I think if I want to do that, I need to cast this for... I guess I'll just do it for 5. Because that pumps up my Shantoto as well. And then we can attack here, here, and here as well. Alright, so life totals are 4 to 7, by the way. I just dealt like 17 damage in one turn, and I have a blocker for Coral. And yeah, I mean, things are looking super nice here. I mean, there are 4 life, right? So like, all I need to do is like play a land, play Vaughn, or Captain Lannery Storm. They're going to tap down Lord Master of Hell. And we're just going to kill Grand Pulse Ochu. Alright. Easy game. Yeah, I mean, we did play that one, like, a little bit risky, right? Like, I could have been a little more mana inefficient and try to kill some creatures earlier, but I just wanted to keep, like, the card flow going, the mana generation going. We took a little bit more damage, but it did ensure that in the late game, we were able to basically just kind of cast everything that we wanted. And now we are starting things off with a nice 4-0. Alright, we are on the play this time. No red mana, but I will keep this. I have 3 islands, Sahuagin Combat Tutorial, Vaughn, or Captain Lannery Storm, and Retrieve the Esper. So the hope here is that the turn 3 Combat Tutorial will find us the red source that we need. Or, of course, we can just draw it naturally. Now, next turn, if I draw like a mountain or another island, what do I do? Really interesting question because, well, I guess it's less interesting now. Only because if I played Sahuagin, I can play Retrieve the Esper. Okay, well, we did find our red source. I'm going to keep Sahuagin back. I don't want to trade 2 damage here. If they kill this, it's pretty hard for them to kill it this way. But yeah, I don't want to trade 2 damage right now. Alright, that's an Ash. Okay. What do I want to do? Big turn. 4 cards in hand. I do find it really funny that I was like, you can't do aggro things here, and then my opponent's just doing aggro things. But yeah, that is the way that this goes. Alright, so we are fully set up now to just cast 4 mana value cards, right? Okay, well, never mind. Their hand is also absolutely insane. Okay. Okay, we drew a land here. How do I want to do this? Because I can just play Captain Lannery Storm and attack. I mean, keeping up Swallowed by Leviathan also seems really, really good. But also, like, I feel like I'm in a position here where I need to start trying to race my opponent. And so killing Dragoon's Lance seems quite good. Or do I just play Retrieve the Esper? Because that also gives me a very, very good creature to have in play. You know what? I'm going to play Captain Lannery Storm. Attack with it. Sure. And then... Okay. This just, like, cleans up the board a decent amount. Okay, sure. And we can start attacking or doing whatever. Oh, that is an ice magic. That's also super nice. 14 to 20. No, I'm going to just play Retrieve the Esper here. Yeah, alright, they got stuck on lands. They actually looked like they had an awesome white aggressive deck, but these 4 mana value matters cards are just so busted. Like, Sahagin could easily have been like an uncommon... Like, it's on the power level of a blue uncommon. That's how good Sahagin is. Like, it is not... I mean, it's worse, but it's like not that far removed from, you know, cards like Emperor of Palamecia and stuff like that. It's really good in blue-red. Alright, next match, opponent on the play. We got 2 drops, 3 drops. Turn 2 Scorpion Sentinel. Turn 3 Combat Tutorial. Probably, you know, totally fine hand, but lacking interaction. One of the weaker hands we can probably start with. And our opponent's on the play with a turn 2 Gubu Gardener. So, got a real fight on our hands. Would love to find some interaction here. Or our 4 mana value matters cards. Now, we do have a Cypher. Are they mono green? Prisha's Wanderings. Probably not mono green. Into Plains. Pumping up the Gubu Gardener. And, yeah, we are... I'm gonna hope that Swallowed by Leviathan works here. It's taking a little bit of a risk here. This looks like a Chocobo kick on Scorpion Sentinel, which will resolve. Oh, Adalbert Steiner, sure. Okay, so they didn't do anything. I mean, I'm kind of doubling down here. But it is what it is. Alright, what did they get? Just green-white random stuff. Sure. Dragoon's Lance. How are they playing around Swallowed by Leviathan so well? You know what I mean? Like, you should be playing around Syncopate. Right? You should be playing around Syncopate. This is crazy. Alright, whatever. They're just like, you 100% have Swallowed by Leviathan. Oh, I guess not. Okay, well, we gotta put both things into our graveyard. Alright. Whew! It... It worked! Kind of. Okay, what do I want to do now? I kind of want to go Combat Tutorial. Hold on. Actually, let's play Retrieve the Esper. And then let's go Combat Tutorial on the token. Yeah. Because this is going to be big, this is naturally going to grow. So I think I like this. Alright, Adalbert Steiner getting in, putting me on a clock, so I do need to find some interaction now. Or we need to start attacking with our creatures as well. It's a Garnet. Alright, bunch... You know, actually, the color combination that I have lost to is green-white. So, you know, take that for what you will. Here is my question. Like, is it time to Cypher? I think it is. Alright, let's go Cypher. And whenever creature you control attacks alone. Alright, let's attack with this. And then we get to keep up Ice Magic, which is great. I'm surprised they're blocking. They're at 27 life. But the nice thing here is Ice Magic plus Cypher is like a super, super strong combination, assuming my opponent lets me do it. But here we get to, I mean, Ice Magic was a really good draw. They have 2 cards left. Let's see what happens. I don't really feel like taking damage, so let's get rid of that. Is this that white spell? It sure is. Okay. Alright, well, we got it out of the way at least. So attacking with Cypher by itself looks pretty nice here. And then that will allow me to cast... Actually, it's not going to do anything, huh? Because they're just going to block. Yeah. Does this thing trample? No. Darn. Alright, so now we need to cast this. Okay, Realm Sketchings. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact, creature, or... So I can copy Dragoon's Lance, but that doesn't help me. I mean, it's still not bad, but like, what am I copying here that I really want to... Like, I can copy Garnet. I can copy Adalbert Steiner. Like, just a lifelinker to help race the Steiner is like the thing. Is there a world where I can kill them? Let's see, 7, 14, 17 damage. I guess I'll keep it. Maybe I should have attacked with this because, like, I know Cypher is not going to resolve. Yeah, but, I mean, the reason why I did this is just to give me some time here for the Garnet. But they can easily just kill me here with the Lance. I mean, the Lance is one of the few cards that's, like, that can just single-handedly beat me. Like, I rely on some well-timed removal spells to kill some evasive creatures. And if they have one really good fly... if they have this equipment, they can just put it on any of their creatures. And then I'm going to be in trouble, right? So... Was there something else I could have copied with Realm Sketchings? I don't think so. Again, there's Dragoon's Lance, but they're at 29 life. Like, I could put the Lance... And the thing is, Lance only gives flying on your turn, right? So, there's that as well. Yeah. No, really, really heads-up play here from the opponent. Chocobo kick, gaining a ton of life. And now I'm on a 2... If I don't draw a flyer here, I'm dead. If I don't draw a flyer here, I am dead. Alright, GG. Adalbert Steiner plus Dragoon's Lance for the win. Yeah, that was a really awkward game. Like, I mean, perhaps if I, like, was a little bit more aggressive and just didn't keep up Swallowed by Leviathan, I would be okay. I just thought for sure that would be a really good spot for my opponent to play something. More often than not, it works out in my favor. But the problem is I didn't have another thing to do, right? Oftentimes, like, keeping up counterspells is okay if you have another instant to cast. But if not, and they don't run into it, then it's a big disaster. So perhaps I should have just cast stuff. All right, on the play. Ooh, Blazing Bomb. Okay, this hand has all kinds of interaction. All this hand needs is a second red source to be able to cast Choco Comet, I guess. But we have 2 islands, a mountain, Blazing Bomb, Shantoto, and retrieve the Esper and Choco Comet. So great hand here on the play. I guess Emperor of Palamecia would just be the absolute nutter butters. But We did not draw the Nutter Butters. We draw an Island. So this at least gives us the opportunity to play Shantoto in to retrieve the Esper, which is still good. We'll see what they do. If they pass with 2 mana up, though, it's a little bit dicey. Because that means they could have Syncopate. And the question is, do I run into it? I'm going to play around it. I hope they don't have Dreams of Laguna. Oh, they just had straight Counterspell and they used it on that? Well, there you go. Works for me. Samurai's Katana works a little bit less well for me. I don't like that. I don't like seeing that one. But I am going to play Shantoto and hope they don't have anything. But the problem here is a blue-red deck, once they get to 4 mana, like, they can have access to Thunder Magic. But of course, I mean, if they have Thunder Magic, they have Thunder Magic, is kind of where I'm at here. It's a good attack. I'm not going to block, so. Like, if they had Thunder Magic, well, I don't know. I guess they should have cast it anyways. The question here is, if they have, like, Ice Magic, what do I do? Right? I think I still put it on top, but I might be interested in casting Choco Comet for 3 on the Samurai's Katana. Okay, so they just played the Sahagin. In which case, I think the play here is just play Retrieve the Esper. Oh, we drew Ice Magic. That's great. Let's attack. The way I look at this is if they have Magic Damper, like, I'm okay trading Shantoto plus Magic Damper and a 3/3 here. And we still have access to a 3/3 blocker here. And then next turn, I mean, we have access to Choco Comet and Ice Magic. So really, really good spot to be in. I mean, I might even be forced to use Ice Magic for 2 mana and then also cast Choco Comet, right? Just depending on how things go. But, like, they could have Light of Judgment this turn. I mean, there's a lot they can have here. So this is actually very close. Like, they have a Sahagin and a Katana. Like, there's a very real shot. I take 5 damage this turn, and they kill my my Shantoto. My City and Elder was probably, like, the least threatening thing that they could have done, and I am super happy that that's what they had. They could still have an Ice Magic here to bounce my token and hit me for 3. My question is, like, do I use Blazing Bomb to kill Sahagin? I don't know. Oh, it's a suplex, sure. All right. So they shouldn't attack with Sahagin. They should just keep that one back. Yeah. All right. So that was a good turn. It was still a double spell turn from them, right? 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do now. I kind of want to kill the Sahagin. Yep. Again, I mean, this is kind of just a bit of a racing situation here. Blazing Bomb is going to be a 4/4 next turn. My token's going to be really big. They're hitting me for a bunch as well, but they might want to play it on the defensive side. I'm not sure. We'll see where this goes. I have the ability to flashback retrieve the Esper. I have the ability to bounce the Samurai Katana token. But if they double spell this turn, that can be a problem. That's an Ice Magic, sure. Yeah, really great stuff here. I go to 5. I'm at 5 life. How do I want to do this? All right. I just wanted to play the most defensive turn there possible because I was on the back foot. There's just so many combinations of cards that kill me there. So I'm going to do this because if they move the Samurai's Katana and attack me, they die, right? So it costs 5 mana to equip. So if they attack me, they're just dead because, okay, they're going to do this instead. Play a land and then they have presumably another spell. Okay. So I go to 4. They have Call the Mountain Chocobo. Now I can flashback this Retrieve the Esper here and see where this goes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thunder Magic. I mean, I think... Is that game? If it's not game, it's got to be close to game, right? They have to block here. And I still have a 5/5 to block with. Alright. Feeling pretty good about this unless I get Choco Cometed to the face. Oh, I did. And they hit me with a good game. Alright, well, that was a close game, and I think we did a decent job of navigating offense and defense there, and sometimes you get Choco Cometed to the face. They had to rip that one too, right? I'm pretty sure I was just dead on the previous turn if they just cast that to my face, so... one outer! Come on! It's okay, we're still 5-2, and games like that will certainly happen. And games like that are also an example of, like, no matter how good you think your deck is, you never know what can actually happen. You can certainly still very, very easily lose. All right, opponent on the play here. We have 4 lands, no 2-drops, but we do have Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum and Captain Lannery Storm, so I think I'm going to keep this, but it's like an unhappy, begrudging keep. Our opponent did mulligan here, which certainly helps our case. Okay, Forest. All right, we drew a 4-drop, sure. Would love to find a 2-drop here. Like any 2-drop. Any 2-drop? Nope. Okay. Turn 2 Sahagin, but they're blue-green, so Sahagin's a little bit worse than blue-green. It's a Gubu Gardener. Alright, not gonna mess around here. We are gonna play Captain Lannery Storm. Attack. If they block, they lose their Gardener. The question here is, do I just play out the Blazing Bomb this turn? No. So the reason why I'm not playing the Blazing Bomb this turn is I want to be able to pump this when I attack. Combat Tutorial, sure, that's good. All right. So let's go Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum on Sahagin. Attack, and then keep up Swallowed by Leviathan. Okay. Hey, it worked this time. We gotta put at least 1 card in the yard. Oh gosh. I want both of these, but I gotta put 1 in my graveyard. I guess Ice Magic can go in the graveyard. Yeah. Because I can get it back with Sorceress's Schemes. Alright, well this is a great turn. We get to go Blazing Bomb plus Shantoto. Play a land and pass. Okay. So next turn we can go like Sorceress's Schemes, trigger a bunch of stuff, get back Ice Magic. If they kill Shantoto, maybe we change what we choose to do. Maybe should have used that one earlier. We generated like 4 treasure off of that thing. Geisal Greens, okay. All right, so let's go Sorceress. Oh, I can also just get back Swallowed by Leviathan. They have 2 cards. But they can try. I think just getting back Ice Magic is generally better. And then I can play Retrieve the Esper. Yeah, let's just do that. This is the more proactive approach, and then if they play like some crazy bomb, then so be it, right? 2, 3, 4, and then we play this. Do I want to slow down their mana? Kind of do. I feel like the way that I lose is like some obscenely large creature. So let's just kill the 1/3 there and try to win off of the Shantoto. Like preventing them from casting Absolute Virtue or something ridiculous, right? Alright, sure. Fate of the Suncrist. Okay. And we drew Sahagin. Let's attack for 3. This is actually quite interesting now. The thing is, if I play Sorceress Schemes, it doesn't even matter, right? I'm gonna play Sahagin because this is a guaranteed way to get 3 unblockable damage through. Because I can Ice Magic something, and then on my turn I can flash something back and deal 3 damage. Yeah. Alright. Got that one. 6 and 2, playing for a trophy. Let's get it done. Like I said, I mean, I think this deck is rock solid. And these are honestly the types of decks that I've been drafting a lot to climb from like rank 1000 all the way to like rank 7 or 6. I think I got as high as 4. So just this strategy works. If you're interested in doing a little bit of quick draft instead of regular draft, you can absolutely take this approach. Blue control for the win. All right, come on. On the play, turn 2 Emperor. Let's just have all the goods for this final game. Or 4 Mountains. I have a Blazing Bomb and a Cypher. No spells to get back. I can do better than that. All right, opponent on the play. I'm going to keep this. Now we got to figure out what I want to put to the bottom. I think it's going to be the Sorceress' Schemes. It's a good card, but I like everything else that I have going, and this hand is certainly capable of falling behind, and so I don't want to lose that way. Ooh, Scorpion Sentinel was a great draw against turn 2 black. I mean, that was, like, actually a really, really good draw. Cornered by black mages would be really tough here. Rufus Shinra is very good as well. They obviously can't attack me. What do I want to do now? 4 cards in hand for the opponent. Let's try to find some answers. And the way that I look at this is if they kill my Scorpion Sentinel, then I can play Captain Lannery Storm and attack. Chocomog doesn't actually do anything here. Oh, they have Fatal Push? Holy cow. Are you kidding me? Alright, well, good. I mean, look. When stuff like that happens, all you can say is good beats. You know what I mean? Good beats. Wow, I guess I copy Rufus to get a 2/4 in play? 2/4 does block pretty well. Okay. I mean, it blocks everything. So here it's like them being able to go 2-drop Rufus, Chocomog, Fatal Push. If they have another pump spell or removal spell like this on the play, I'm just dead. Right? Yeah. And a Galacat. Alright, well. Hey, look, sometimes your opponents get like super curvaceous starts and you lose. So, good beats. Great curve, great draw from the opponent, and sadly, we were not quite able to get the trophy. By the way, we went like 6-3, and our rank stayed the same. So that is the nature of, obviously, Mythic Limited. But again, I still feel pretty strongly that this is one of the best things to be doing, blue-based control decks. So again, if you're doing the quick draft stuff, take a look at what kind of we were doing in this draft. I think it's a really, really successful strategy. We lost to a white aggro deck that had the Dragoon's Lance, and then this one was just like, you know, we had to ship that first hand back, and then they just had a really, really great hand. And then the blue-red opponent with the Choco Comet. So that one, obviously, that was a really close, good game. I tried to play a little bit of offense and defense, and then they ripped the Choco Comet, and we kind of lost that game. But that's another game that obviously could have gone either way. I actually felt like I was really far in the lead at the end, and then they drew the Comet for the win. So again, this deck could have very, very easily trophied. The counter spells, all these flashback spells, this deck just never, ever runs out of action. These 4 mana value matters effects are all really, really good, even including the Blazing Bomb. The spells just work super well together. I feel like every time you draft blue-red, you're kind of putting together a blue-red block constructed deck. It just feels so smooth, and I think they did such a good job of being able to make the blue-red spells archetype actually successful with payoffs that really feel great when you do the thing. So again, shout out Final Fantasy, blue-red, blue-black. Those are the things that I'm looking for. Towns is a little bit harder to pull off, but if you're trying to do it, you know, I'm only going to showcase one quick draft, right? Because just, you know, most people want to do the normal drafting, but just showcasing to you what's been working and what I've been able to do during my 1 week off, which is climb and do quick drafts, because it just kind of fits my schedule a little bit better while I'm just trying to sneak in a match here and there. But there you have it, folks. 6-3 with a nice Izzet spells deck. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in a different way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Access to the Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel along with a variety of different benefits. Again, patreon.com/paulcheon. Also go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need some booster boxes of Magic the Gathering product or you need some singles for your constructed decks, go to TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, go to HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and much, much more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.